And welcome back. You know, this is National Nurses Week, an annual event dedicated to recognizing and celebrating the invaluable contributions of nurses.
But those contributions don't end at the hospital door. One Michigan family recently had the chance to witness just how incredible one of the nurses and their family is. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with their story.
Hey guys, yeah, you know, Taylor Krupp has been an ER nurse at Michigan Medicine since graduating from U of M 7 years ago. But he's originally from New Lothrop. That's a small village west of Flint, population about 500. Now in March, a trip back home for a pickleball tournament suddenly turned into a life and death situation, and Taylor jumped into action.
There was like 20 of us, aunts, uncles, cousins, you know, just a bunch of friends and family. And it was just like any other night. It was a tournament set up, and my uncle, he was on the kind of the A division, so they played their games first. We were all kind of hanging out watching. Finished his game, he won, he beat the 1 seed, which was pretty impressive. I see my aunt just kind of look through me, scream my uncle's name, and I turn around quick, and he was just on the ground.
Taylor's uncle, Keith Vrable, had no pulse. Taylor immediately begins doing chest compressions.
Hollered for my mom to, get the phone, call 911, put it on speaker. The gym owner, his name is Taylor, he's a buddy of ours, and I hollered for him, said, hey, if you have an AED, go grab an AED, and luckily he was already on his way going to get it.
As Taylor continues CPR, others get the AED ready.
Once the pads were on, then we just kind of let the machine take over, and we took a pause, listened, it called for a shock, and it defibrillated him the first time, and then I got back on the chest.
Keith opened his eyes.
About 30 seconds, he's kind of talking, and then he kind of gazes off, and he just goes out again.
Everyone clear. Press flashing button. Shock delivered.
An ambulance arrives, but it's a basic life support rig without the advanced medications and equipment Keith needs. His heart stops again.
This third time, he basically came to right away. He was just like, don't do that again, So it was like, I kind of smiled, and as bad as that was, it's a great sign for me.
Taylor continued caring for his uncle on the ride to the hospital.
We got him there. Doctors did an EKG, and he was in the cath lab 15 minutes later. It was incredible. They found his LAD, his left anterior descending coronary artery, was fully occluded, which is like the widowmaker. So that was the big one. They stented that, kept him for 24 hours, discharged him the next day, and other than just some really, really sore ribs, he has no restrictions, no complaints, nothing.
In the ER at Michigan Medicine, Taylor has saved countless lives, but he admits this experience was very different.
Everybody that was in that building has known everybody their entire lives, whether they're family, friends, whatever. When it's, your aunt's voice, or when it's your cousin's words, that is what kind of kicked back into me.
And he can't help but think of the what ifs.
He's about to have his second grandbaby in a couple months. His middle child's getting married this August, so it's never a good time to die, but this would have been a really bad time.
Thanks to Taylor's immediate CPR and that critical AED, Keith is doing great.
I went up with his family because they were playing pickleball, so he went up just to watch, and he had no restrictions, so he's like, I was going to play 1 game, and he ended up playing 7, so that was awesome. I mean, he texted me that, and I'm just like, you're insane, man. You could just take it easy for 2 seconds.
The rescue has made an impression on everyone there. Keith, his wife, and 6 other family members have since gotten CPR and AED certified.
You do not need to be an ER nurse of 7 years to be able to have the outcome that I had. 1 class, learning how to, just do, just good, efficient compression.
And learn where the AEDs are in your community.
Call 911, get someone there who has the equipment you need. Being aware of AEDs, you never know who has one. I truly wouldn't have thought that my gym in my town of 500 people would have one.
Nursing can be a very stressful profession, but the incident has only strengthened Taylor's commitment to caring for patients and educating others.
It doesn't have to be the end. I mean, you can do the right things, you can get great outcomes and change people's lives.
Now, Taylor says he usually plays pickleball in the earlier group and then leaves to get back to Ann Arbor for work. On that particular day, his uncle's group actually played first instead, so Taylor was actually still there when he collapsed.
And thank goodness he was, but as you're often reminding us, any of us can find ourselves in his position.
That's absolutely true. Most cardiac arrests happen at home, and even the fastest ambulance is still going to take minutes to reach you. Starting someone on CPR before the ambulance gets there can actually make all the difference between life and death. And basic hands-only CPR is a skill that everyone should learn.
That's so true, and that brings us to what we're going to talk about next. A reminder, hands-only CPR training. this month's Go For It event. So to sign up, just scan the QR code on the screen, or you can head on over to clickondetroit.com. The training is at the Coleman Young Recreation Center. That's on Detroit's east side, Wednesday, May 21st from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You're going to learn how to save a life with hands-only CPR. Also note, no formal certificate will be given on that.